Going to get into the name of the chapter here is street fighting.
Sweet.
One of the favorite generals among war correspondents was Major General Manton S. Eddy, commander of the 9th Division. We liked him because he was absolutely honest with us, because he was sort of an old shoe and easy to talk with, and because we thought he was a mighty good general. General Eddy looked more like a school teacher than a soldier. He was a big, tall man, but he wore glasses and his eyes had a sort of squint. Being a Midwesterner, he talked like one. He still claimed Chicago as home, although he'd been an Army officer for 28 years. He was wounded in the last war. He was not glib, but he talked well and laughed easily. In spite of being a professional soldier, he despised war and, like any ordinary soul, was appalled by the waste and tragedy of it. He wanted to win and get home just as badly as anybody else. General Eddy especially liked to show up in places where his soldiers wouldn't expect to see him. Little leadership lessons right now from General Eddy. Nothing wrong with smiling, talking with the boys, knowing what's going on, and then boom, show up in places where his soldiers wouldn't expect to see him. He knew it helped the soldiers' spirits to see their commanding general right up there at the front where it was hot. So he walked around the front with his long stride, never ducking or appearing to be concerned at all. One day I rode around with him on one of his tours. We stopped at a command post and were sitting on the grass under a tree looking at maps with a group of officers around us. Our own military was banging nearby, but nothing was coming our way. Then, like a flash of lightning, there came a shell just over our heads so low it went right through the treetops, it seemed. It didn't whine, it wished. It swished. Everybody, including full colonels, flopped over and began grabbing grass. The shell exploded in the next orchard. General Eddy didn't move. He just said, "That was one of our shells." The general also liked to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, once in a while, to go poking around into the message centers and mess halls, giving the boys a start. Sounds like he was a little bit of an early riser.
He's trying to be up before the enemy.
He was definitely up before the enemy. Well, apparently, the Germans, they were saying, "Hey, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Need some
calm
rest
down.
over here."
Yeah.
During the Cherbourg Peninsula campaign, I spent 9 days with the 9th Infantry Division, the division that cut the peninsula, and one of the 3 that overwhelmed the great port of Cherbourg. The 9th is one of our best divisions. It landed in Africa and fought through Tunisia and Sicily. Then it went to England in the fall of 1943 and trained all winter for the invasion of France. It was one of the American divisions in the invasion that had previous battle experience. The 9th did something in that campaign that we hadn't always done in the past. It kept tenaciously on the enemy's neck. When the Germans would withdraw a little, the 9th was right on top of them. It never gave them a chance to reassemble or get their balance. The 9th moved so fast it got to be funny. I was based at the division command post, and we struck our tents and moved forward 6 times in 7 days. That worked the daylights out of the boys who took down and put up the tents. I overheard one of the boys saying, "I'd rather be with Ringling Brothers." But that's a little strategic importance there. The 9th was just, we're going to get you, and we're going to come after you, and we're not going to stop. You're not going to get a chance to recover. You're not going to get a chance to rest. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to go in that mode, no matter what you're doing in life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to go in that mode. Yep. You don't back off. And I'll tell you what, you want to rest. People want to rest.
Yep.
But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you need to keep the pressure on.
Kind of like you and Twitter.
Yes. Had to keep some pressure on.